It's Alicia back with another video. I'm a spiritual wellness mindset coach. I help people who struggle with forgiveness and the negative impact of starting over. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a behavioral specialist. I am a woman who dealt with unforgiveness in my heart. I cried out to the Lord and He delivered me. I had also developed depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and PTSD. But once I was delivered from the unforgiveness in my heart, all of those symptoms went with it. God spoke to me in 2018, and He told me that He wanted me to speak on forgiveness. Okay? I have 2 books out on Amazon. One is called Forgiveness is for Me. I forgave what I never heard and moved on. The second one is a self-help workbook. That one is for you. It will help you acknowledge whether or not you deal with unforgiveness in your heart and help walk you through a possible breakthrough. These books have been very successful among the youth and incarcerators, okay? People that are incarcerated in prison. But it would help you as well. God didn't just tell me that it was going to help prisoners and the youth. He said everyone. But I'm just letting you know it has been very successful there. Now, I want to know, did you come back? Did you come back? What do you mean, Miss Alicia, did I come back? There's a story in the Bible that I want to share with you. Jesus, He healed 10 men that had leprosy. Now, you might say, Miss Alicia, what does your teachings have to do with Jesus healing 10 men that had leprosy? Well, at the very end of this video, it'll all come together and you'll understand. I want to give you some definitions. The first definition is leprosy. Leprosy is a contagious disease, a chronic condition. It causes disfigurement, skin sores, and nerve damage to the arms, the legs, and around the body. The second one is turnaround. Turnaround means to come back from the direction that you came from. The next word is thankful. Thankful means pleased, relieved, grateful. And lastly, testimony. Testimony is a formal, written, or spoken statement. A witness, proof, evidence. Now you might say, okay, I hear you. Now, I also, before I read, I want to tell you something about Harriet Tubman. I love Harriet Tubman. I thank God for Harriet Tubman, for her courage, for her faith. Harriet Tubman was a slave. She wasn't any old slave. She was a woman who never wanted to settle in her mind that she was going to stay a slave. She always had on her mind of how she could be free. Harriet Tubman went from a slave to an abolitionist. She finally, through the Lord placing people in her life, they gave her a roadmap of how to get out of there. And following her faith and what she would say her ancestors that led her, she made it to freedom. And yes, she was grateful and she thanked the Lord. But guess what? She wasn't fulfilled. She came back to the plantation because she had family, she had friends, and she had people that she knew would have wanted to be free. God gave her wisdom, knowledge, understanding, patience, access, resources. He favored her. So now I want to read what Jesus did for these 10 men, these 10 lepers. It is in Luke chapter 17, verse 11 through 19. And it says, "Now on his way to Jerusalem, Jesus traveled along the border between Samaria and Galilee. As he was going into a village, 10 men who had leprosy met him. They stood at a distance and called out in a loud voice, "Jesus, Master, have pity on us." When he saw them, he said, "Go, show yourselves to the priest." And as they went, they were cleansed. One of them, when he saw he was healed, came back, praising God in a loud voice. He threw himself at Jesus' feet and thanked him, and he was a Samaritan. Jesus asked, "Were not all 10 cleansed? Where are the other 9? Has no one returned to give praise to God except for this foreigner?" Then he said to him, "Rise and go. Your faith has made you well." Now, you might say, "Okay, Miss Alicia, I heard the definitions. I heard the message. What are you saying? How can that help me?" Well, today I'm talking to those who have been hard on themselves, and they know that they have a work to do for the Lord, okay? And you have probably been avoiding it. You've probably had some pride in you. You might have some embarrassment. But the Lord has delivered you. You know what that deliverance was. And you've been quiet about it, or you've been putting it off. And also, back in your mind, you've been saying, "I got to do this. I got to share this. People need it." You understand? And so this is your opportunity. This is confirmation to let you know that what you have went through, people need to hear from you. Many of you are enjoying these videos, but it's not me. It's what God has allowed me to overcome that pulls you. And I want you to know, Harriet Tubman, she didn't see herself as trying to be well known. Harriet Tubman just wanted better for her life. Myself, when I asked God to deliver me, it's because I wanted better for myself. And you as well. I want better for you. I want you to think about that today. Have I been holding back? Am I withholding letting people know that I'm a testimony? That I need to let people know I've been delivered? Have I been quiet about it? Was I part of the 9 that never turned around? Or did you come back? I want you to come back. I want you to share your testimony. And if you say, "Well, Miss Alicia, I don't know what to say. I've thought about this. It's funny that you bring this video up, but I've thought about this. I just don't know where to start." Well, I can't tell you what to do, but I can give a suggestion. You can go to the Lord in your quiet time, and you can ask him, "Lord, what is it that you want me to say to your people? What is it that you want me to share about my deliverance?" God is pleased with us when we let the world know that we used to have an issue, but he delivered us from it. Imagine those men with leprosy. Imagine people going to the doctors, trying to find out what's wrong with them, or if there was a cure. They've tried remedies. They've tried all these different things, and nothing worked. And they've been isolated, couldn't be around people. Imagine when you had the chicken pox, and they, get away from me. Or when there was COVID, put your mask on. You understand? And then now you delivered. How can you not go back and say thank you? Think about that. Thankful, testimony, turnaround, leprosy mentality. Okay? Something was going on with you. You know something was going on with you. Other people knew things was going on with you. And you're no longer in that state anymore. I'll talk to you soon, okay? Think about it. Bye.